Now, moving on to another story, we have Maureen Waititu. Now, she's come off as very bitter in the past. She's come off as very vindictive in the past. She's come off as very brutally honest to an extent that almost seems like she's trying to throw jabs at people. And it seems that all of that may have been a defense mechanism because she was going through the thick of it. It would seem that when she and Frankie Just Jimmy broke up and we all were in their business, we were all sipping on that tea like it was nothing else. Honey, we took that tea like nothing else. And when we were doing all of this, she was secretly suffering and struggling on the inside. So now she's come up and said that apparently she went through a really bad bout of not just depression, but she also went through a really bad bout of suicidal ideation. She actually says she did think and may have attempted to commit suicide about 3 times. So much so that a friend of hers then called her in and asked her, dude, you need to see someone about this. She ended up seeing a psychiatrist. Antidepressants were, prescribed to her, and she started taking the antidepressants, which would take her out cold at night, and then she would be awake in the morning. But before that, it was really bad. Apparently, she would go to the mall and just leave her door wide open, and security guards are now swarming at the car, like who's left the car open like this. It was a really, really bad situation for her altogether. But she says she would recommend medication for anyone who is feeling like they're struggling. Don't think about what the society is going to say, the stigma, all that is attached to Black people and especially Africans, and even more so Kenyans, with struggling depression and other issues like that. Do not listen to what people are saying. You focus on you, take your medication as long as it's prescribed to you, and of course you will feel a lot better. Yeah. Now she says she's fine, she says she's okay, but Kenyans, we are trolls. Can you imagine out here a woman is about to off herself because we are trolling her because she broke up with a man? Like, that is the worst kind of insanity. Because think about it, I broke up with someone. It should be a happy thought for the man who are not going to come. I mean, Maureen is hot, and all the other women should be happy to take up my garbage. But all of us are just trolling her and making her life impossible simply because he moved on with a seemingly hotter woman, and now she's pregnant by him a few weeks or months after we've broken up. It was really bad. Honestly, I feel guilty. I feel a lot, just a teeny weeny bit guilty because I participated in the trolling and I did it for your entertainment. But at the end of the day, I think mental health is very important to get yourself checked constantly. It's very, very important for you to do that. Maureen Waititu, I apologize on our behalf and all of those other Kenyans who trolled you, and we're happy to hear that you're doing well.
Listen, it's one thing to break up with a person. We've all been in situations where somebody has broken up with you, somebody has done you dirty, somebody has embarrassed you in front of, everyone. But when it happens to you and your villagers and your relatives, when it happens to you, an ordinary person, it's you and maybe your sister and just a few people who know about it. But when you're a celebrity, it is so magnified. Everybody knows what happened. Anyone who sees you at the mall, maybe you just went to pick up breakfast. They quickly tweeted, they take a sneaky picture and they post it talking about, look at how dry she looks, look at how that heartbreak is beating her up. And I hate to laugh about it, but that's the reality of the thing, It happened very publicly. It did. And even they were still together when Corazon actually, debuted her pregnancy.
Yeah, because how is she pregnant 2 months after y'all break up?
Exactly. And, there's this woman who's pregnant and the father is your baby daddy and you guys are, living together up until some point. They break up and then 2 minutes later, there's this baby announcement. And then when you defend yourself, when you say, you know what, then we need to create boundaries, because that is what she did. She was very clear about her boundaries, talking about, you cannot come into my children's life just the way you want, without a schedule. Let's sit down with our lawyers. Let's draft up a plan that works. And then we do, we do our thing. However, her baby daddy, he was very petty about it. And he would do a YouTube video, any small decision they make, anytime Maureen says, you know what, you just can't drop in you know, in the middle of the week and say, I want to see my children. You have not seen them for weeks. You just can't pop up and say, I want to take my children somewhere.
And you're not financially responsible
You've not
either.
provided for these children. You don't know where they live. You don't know what they're eating. You don't know where they're going to school. You just pop out, in and out, willy-nilly. And she was very upset about it. And she said, you know what? These children are not going to see you until you figure out your things, until you get your act together. And people came at her for it, talking about, you're bitter about it. You don't want your baby daddy to see the children because he's having a child with another person. And it's so heartbreaking, especially when you're the victim. And this man even went as far as kicking them out of the house they were living in simply because his mother owns the house. You know, it was a very...
But let's just call it what it is. Frankie is a petty
Mama's
man.
boy.
Like, look at what he's doing now with Corazon. Isn't it the same thing? Trolling her, constantly putting out TikTok videos that are just pretty much taunting her.
Those two were meant to be together because they are constantly, you know, breaking up, getting back together,
everywhere,
doing the most. And I think they thrive off of it. They thrive off of the clout because they're always doing it. 1 minute they're together, posting cute videos in the car. The next minute, Corazon has posted a black rose, talking about, I'm single, I want to be better. You know what? Those two were meant to be for each other. But I do love seeing how Maureen is in a better place right now. She is thriving, doing the most. And I love it for her.
Traveling, endorsements. I mean, girl, you do you. Keep doing you.
Reveal your new boyfriend. You know,
yes,
we saw him.
Can I see him?
We saw him.
You can't just be over here.
She posted a hand, a wrist.
Why? And we don't know who this man is. Show us. Please show us. I want to see the man.